Welcome everybody, my name's Shane Thompson, and this is Bible Stories in 5 minutes. Hey, welcome back everybody. Excuse me. We are in our 5-minute Bible stories. We're Bible stories in 5 minutes or less. We sometimes go a little bit over, but the goal is 5 minutes or less, and we're trying as best we can. So we are in Exodus. We're learning about Moses. We've learned about the plagues. We're learning more about the plagues today. So I want to get right started in Exodus 9 is where we'll be reading from tonight. More than welcome to join us. Read along. I read fast. I want you to hear the Word of God, not just the Bible stories we heard as kids, but hear the actual words from the Bible so that it'll hopefully intrigue you into going, I want to read more about that. I want to hear what it actually says. I want to read it in something I can understand. So Shane talks really fast, but that's okay. So we're in Exodus 9. We're dealing with the plagues. Pharaoh's heart's hardened. It says, Then the Lord said to Moses, Go to Pharaoh and say to him, This is what the Lord, the God of Hebrews, says. Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go and continue to hold them back, the hand of the Lord will bring a terrible plague on your livestock in the field, on your horses, donkeys, camels, on your cattle, sheep, and goats. But the Lord will make a distinction between the livestock of Israel and that of Egypt, so that no animal belonging to the Israelites will die. The Lord set a time, and it said, Tomorrow the Lord will do this on the land. And the next day the Lord did it, because the Lord keeps his promises. All the livestock of the Egyptians died, but not one animal belonging to the Israelites died. Pharaoh investigated and found that not even one of the animals of the Israelites had died, yet his heart was unyielding and he would not let his people go. Would not let the people go. All your cows are dead. Of course, he probably took the Israelites' cows. It says, Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Take handfuls of soot from the furnace you have, Moses. Toss it into the air in the presence of Pharaoh. It will become fine dust over the whole land of Egypt, and festering boils will break out on people and animals throughout the land. So they took the soot from the furnace and stood before Pharaoh. So they're standing there with soot in their hand. Moses tossed in the air, and festering boils broke out on all people and animals. The magicians could not stand before Moses because the boils that were on them and on the Egyptians. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had said to Moses. Then the Lord said, Moses, get up early in the morning, confront Pharaoh, and say to him, This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go, so that they may worship me. For this time I will send the full force of my plagues against you and against your officials and your people, so that you may know that there is no one like me on this earth. For by now I could have stretched out my hand and struck you and your people with a plague that would have wiped you off the earth. Could have done that, but I've raised you up for this very purpose, that I might show you my power, and that my name might be proclaimed on all the earth. Yet you still set yourself against my people and will not let them go. Therefore, at this time tomorrow, I will send the worst hailstorm that has ever fallen on Egypt from the day it was founded till now. Give an order now to bring your livestock and everything you have in the field to a place of shelter, because hail will fall on every person and animal that has not been brought in and is still out in the field, and they will die. Okay, do this. Those officials of Pharaoh who feared the word of the Lord hurried to bring their slaves, their livestock inside, but those who ignored the word of the Lord left their slave and livestock in the field. Then the Lord said to Moses, Stretch out your hand toward the sky so that the hail will fall all over Egypt, on people and animals and everything growing in the fields of Egypt. When Moses stretched out his staff towards the sky, now Moses did this one. Aaron did some of the other ones. This was Moses. Stretched out over the set thunder and hail and lightning flashed down to the ground. So the Lord rained hail on the land of Egypt. Hail fell and lightning flashed back and forth. This is the worst storm in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. Throughout Egypt, hail struck everything in the fields, both animals, people and animals. It beat down everything grown in the field and stripped everything, every tree, stripped them all. The only place it did not hail was in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites were. The Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron. This time I have sinned. He said to them, The Lord is in the right, and I and my people are in the wrong. Pray to the Lord, for we have had enough thunder and hail. I will let you go. Don't have to stay any longer. Moses replied, When I have gone out of the city, I will spread out my hands in prayer to the Lord. The thunder will stop, and there will be no more hail. So you may know that the earth is the Lord's. This is the earth. This is the Lord's. This is not yours. Okay, it says, but I know that you and your officials will still do not fear the Lord. I still know that you're just lying. You're just making stuff up. The flax and barley were destroyed since the barley had headed and the flax were in the bloom. The wheat and spelt, however, were not destroyed because they ripened later, so they're good. It said, Then Moses left Pharaoh. I don't know why that tells that in there, but it does. It says, Then Moses left Pharaoh and went out to the city. He spread out his hands toward the Lord, and the thunder and hail stopped, and the rain no longer poured down on the land. When Pharaoh saw that the rain and hail and thunder had stopped, he sinned again, of course, because that's what he does. He and his officials hardened their hearts, so Pharaoh's heart was hard, and he would not let the Israelites go, just as the Lord had said to Moses. So that is it. We are in the plague of locusts. We're going to get into a little bit more. It's a lot of locusts and the darkness. So we're going to get through the exile. We're going to get to the point where Pharaoh finally says, "Let my people go." Okay, they finally can go, and that's where we're going to end with the story of Moses. Because I want you to learn what Moses was before. We learned that he killed a guy, that he hid, that he was scared, he didn't speak well, yet God still used him, and that's the point of it. So, Lord bless you and keep you. Lord make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. God bless you all. We'll see you next time.